today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 important things that you must do to your seed starts to ensure that they are healthy, they thrive, they last up to the point of you actually taking them to the garden. The very first thing that we have to do right after our seeds germinate is to ensure that we're exposing our starts to light. The type of light is not any kind of light. It is grow lights if you are doing this indoors. As you can see, I am in my greenhouse outdoors, which means that my starts are getting exposure to sunlight, but the sunlight is shielded. The greenhouse filters out some of the harshness of the sun, so we are getting just the right amount of light. I don't need to deal with grow lights indoors, which is the primary reason why I got this greenhouse. If you don't get the lighting right and the light is either the wrong type of light or it is too dim, what is going to happen is you're going to get seedlings that are leggy. Leggy seedlings are super thin seedlings that grow super tall because it is stretching to look for light. Some of us see that and think our plant is growing. It is actually not healthy. Now, if you just take your young starts that you started indoors and bring them out and just expose them to sunlight, direct sunlight, you can also end up killing them because the plant has been growing indoors. Now you bring them to harsh light, harsh UV radiation that the plant has not been used to. It can end up burning and killing your plants instead. Eventually, I'm going to transition these directly outside, but I would do that very slowly in a process referred to as hardening off. The second thing that is absolutely critical to caring for your starts is watering your starts. You want to wait until the plants actually need watering, because if you overwater, you're going to end up suffocating the roots and killing your plants that way. And how you know that your plants need water is you grab the starts, you look at the soil on top. If it looks dry, like so, you can see how the soil is kind of crumbly like that. It means I need to water it. If you grab one and it looks wet, you can see that it looks wet. This one does not need watering. To water your starts, please do not water on top like so. Instead, what you do is you are going to put water in a container. This one is sitting in a seed tray that does not have holes. So I'll put the water in here, then I sit this on top, and then the water goes up to the roots. This is known as bottom watering. We water from the bottom up. It is a healthy way to water plants that you have growing, say in a greenhouse or indoors, to prevent stuff like fungus, mold, that kind of stuff on top of the soil. And then the third, and quite frankly, maybe the most important, has to do with fertilization. You are going to kill your starts if you don't do fertilization right. Why do we even bother with fertilization? If you recall, we start our seeds using what is known as a seed starting mix, and usually that seed starting mix does not have nutrients for your plants. When your seeds germinate, the first couple of weeks, the seed has nutrients in there to feed the plant right up to a certain point. When it gets to a certain point, we then need to put nutrients, additional nutrients to the soil to support growth of our plants. Now, when is it a good time to start to feed your plants with nutrients? This should be about 3 weeks after germination. Your seeds can take 7 to 10 to 14, maybe 21 days to sprout. After it sprouts, then we start counting. 3 weeks after that is usually fine to feed your plants. Another way to tell if your plants are good to feed is when it has formed true leaves. Like you are able to tell that these are pepper plants, the true leaves, then it is time to feed your starts. Any sooner, the plant might be too tender and you can kill your plants that way. It is always better to wait than to feed too early and end up killing your plants. Now, what to use to fertilize your seed starts? I'm going to recommend something like this Miracle Grow liquid fertilizer, but you can use any other kind of liquid fertilizer. It can be organic or inorganic. The organic ones tend to have a smell. And so if you're doing this indoor and you use something like the fish emulsion, that has a very strong smell inside your house, might not be good. So a chemical fertilizer like this one is okay. And when you use the liquid fertilizer for your start, you need to dilute to 1/4 of the strength. So if this says use 1 part in 1 gallon of water, I'm going to divide that 1 part into 4 and use just 1/4 to that 1 gallon of water. So I've diluted it down to 25%. We want it dilute because the amount of soil that we have in each cell here is very small. This is all we have. And so if the solution that you use is very concentrated, it's going to even be even more concentrated in here for your very fragile plants, and it will kill your plants. Err on the side of under fertilization. We're going to take our fertilizer, our liquid fertilizer, follow the instructions, but then reduce that to 1/4 of the strength before we use to feed our plants. Now, how do you feed your plants? Not on top. Don't spray anything on top. One, you can burn the leaves. And two, we just don't want to introduce water on top. So we're going to do what is referred to as bottom feeding. We're going to put the diluted plant food right here. We're going to sit this on top and let it feed from the bottom up. Feed the roots where the plant actually needs the food is in the roots and not the leaves. I hope you found some value. Please, please, please click that thumbs up. I sincerely hope I earned your subscription. Share this video with somebody that you know is getting into gardening. I do appreciate your love and your support. Until next time, grow a garden. Happy gardening, everybody. Bye.